hear that ad every freaking day.
I used to.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Evelyn and today I'm here to talk to you about some music that I listened to in 2018. So Spotify does this really cool thing where at the end of every year they take and compile all of the data that they've collected about you and they show you a bunch of stuff about your listening habits over the past year. It's called Spotify Wrapped, so they give you a playlist of your top 100 songs. They recommend new songs for you based on what you've listened to. They also show you your top 5 artists, top 5 songs, tell you how many minutes of music that you streamed, that sort of thing. And I always find it really fascinating to look at that sort of information, so I wanted to share my Spotify Wrapped with you guys, but also I wanted to give it a little bookish twist. So I'm going to be putting my top 100 songs of 2018 playlist that Spotify made for me on shuffle, and then picking books to go with the songs that pop up. So it's like the playlist book tag, but specifically with the top 100 songs that I was really, really into this year. Here we have my top songs of 2018. Shuffle play. Okay, so that was I'm Still Standing by Elton John. The book / series that I picked to go with this is Marissa Meyer's Lunar Chronicles series. In the song, he's obviously talking about a romantic relationship and being able to get through the obstacles that come with the end of one. But I feel like the message of resilience in that song really speaks to the heart of this story, especially Cinder, who just keeps getting hit with all sorts of crap. She just keeps working toward her goals, defeating the evil that is trying to force her down. This is one of my all-time favorite series. Would recommend if you are wanting to get a little bit more into sci-fi but you don't really know where to start, because this is a pretty good sci-fi fantasy kind of blend of stuff. It's set in a kind of dystopian world, but they're based on fairy tales, so you have a familiar reference point. So that was What I Need by Hayley Kiyoko featuring Kehlani, and the book that I picked to go with that song is The Summer of Jordi Perez and the Best Burger in Los Angeles. This book follows a fashion-obsessed lesbian teenager named Abby as she tries to balance her summer job at a fashion boutique where she's competing with the other intern for a full-time position, and her new friendship with this guy as they help test an app to find the best burger in Los Angeles. Throughout the book, Abby struggles, not in accepting her own sexuality. She knows that she's attracted to women and she is okay with that, but she has a hard time viewing herself as someone who could be loved by another person. Birds Don't Sing by TV Girl, which was actually my most listened song of the year, which is kind of funny because I just discovered it like maybe 2 months ago, so that should give you a good idea of how much I dig that song. And so the book that I picked for Birds Don't Sing is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, because that song really reminds me of Adam. who is quite possibly tied as my favorite character in this series. I love both him and Blue very, very much. Birds Don't Sing really reminds me of the Adam from the first half of the series. He's a little cynical, he's a little untrusting of people, and it's understandable based on his background. Throughout the series he really grows as a person, but Birds Don't Sing to me really reflects the beginning Adam, where he doesn't quite know how he fits in the group of people he's around. He is really struggling to try to force himself into an image of what he sees his future as, and he really does not want to take help from anybody because he's been conditioned that taking help means letting someone in, which means giving them the opportunity to hurt you. And Birds Don't Sing, although it is a very peppy song, it does address some of those feelings of not being able to trust anyone, not knowing what's happening in your own life, not being sure about anything. I just feel that really represents Adam as a character very well, especially in this first book. Ooh. Ooh. This one's hard. That was the song Hayloft by Mother Mother, and the book that I picked for it is A Million Junes by Emily Henry. The song itself depicts a kind of situation where there's a kind of a forbidden romance going on and some parental disapproval happening, and that is definitely a theme here in A Million Junes. It's a book somewhat based off of Romeo and Juliet, in that there are two families who have this very long feud. Nobody really knows exactly why it started, and then the girl from one family meets the boy from the other, and they fall in love, and they have to figure out what started the feud and kind of break this curse that has been apparently put upon their family. It's a very odd book. It has some very beautifully written prose in it. So yeah, a lot of themes of family and whether you should put your family above all else, or whether or not it's okay to go against tradition, that kind of thing, which ties into some of the themes of the song. In the middle of summer, I was holding in the sky. I was holding when the day met the night. Summer, I was holding in the sky. I was holding when the day met the night. Summer. So that was Panic at the Disco's When the Day Met the Night, a song about two people from very different backgrounds meeting and falling in love, which reminded me a lot of Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. The two main characters in this book were raised very different ways, very different places, very different backgrounds, and they're both a little bit broken, and when they meet each other they quickly fall in love and become very dependent on each other. This book has a sort of unusual writing style that just sets it apart from anything else that I've ever read, and the same goes for that album that When the Day Met the Night is on, so you might even say they're both pretty odd. So that was Boyfriend by Tegan and Sara, and I immediately knew what book that I had to pick for this one, just because they go together so well, and that is Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. If you've been around for a little bit, you'll know that Becky Albertalli is one of my favorite contemporary authors of all time. Leah on the Offbeat is probably her most hated book, but it means so very much to me because it was the first YA contemporary romance type novel that I read with a character who identifies as bisexual, as the main character. It literally reduced me to tears in moments that weren't even supposed to be emotional, just because of how understood and seen I felt by Leah and the experiences that she was going through. I don't want to spoil any of the book for you, but if you listen to the lyrics of the song, it's kind of the same situation. That was Seven Devils by Florence and the Machine, and the book that I picked to go with that is The Hearts We Sold by Emily Lloyd Jones. This book follows a girl named Dee who makes a deal with a demon, it's a lot of D's, after she finds out that her tuition has gone up for her private school that she attends, meaning she will no longer be able to afford it and will have to return home, which is not an option because her home life is not great, like, whatsoever. So she makes this deal with this demon. She gives him her heart in exchange for the money to be able to continue going to her school. And she ends up meeting other Heartless who are bound in contract with this demon, including this boy who she starts to have feelings for. That was Bea Miller's S.L.U.T. It's a song that never fails to make me feel empowered as heck. I picked a book that made me feel the exact same way, and that was Moxie by Jennifer Matthew. This book follows Vivian Carter, who goes to a high school that really perpetuates rape culture. One day she just gets, so sick and tired of guys acting so just horribly toward her and her female classmates. So she starts making this design, Moxie. And she basically starts a revolution in her school among the female students, all on her own, anonymously, of course. So it becomes something even bigger than herself. And after reading this book, I was just so hyped. I was like, yes, I can stand up for myself and I'm gonna be a strong, empowered woman. And, I always try to be an empowered person, but it's a little bit hard. But this book really put me in that spirit and made me want to band together with my female friends and do something amazing. All you need for a rocking good time is a bunch of people who don't give a damn. There's a yes in your head, gotta find what it's at. Music in the morning, but ignore that. And we're not birds, they're just body tattoos, and the colorful mess is just colorful gray. Black lipstick will never be seen. Regret it when we're old with wrinkled up skin. Regret it when we're old with wrinkled up skin. Regret it when we're old with wrinkled up skin. Okay, so that was Dodie's Party Tattoos. That song is about living in the moment and not letting life pass you by, not being too afraid to go out and live. And that really reminded me of the main character in Kendra Fort Meyer's Hole in the Middle. So Morgan was born with a little hole in the middle of her stomach, and because of that she spent most of her life hiding from the rest of the world because she has this big, bad, scary secret. Throughout the book, she learns that maybe being different is not so bad after all, and she shouldn't let her fears stop her from living her life. I just think that the message of the song and the message of the book fit together so perfectly. So if you're interested in hearing the full versions of any of the songs that I mentioned in this video, I will leave the link to my Spotify down below. That playlist has like 100 songs on it, and I do not own 100 books. So there's also some other wonderful songs that you can go discover. Leave a comment down below if you also listen to any of these songs on repeat this year. And if you've read any of the books that I mentioned, or if I've convinced you to read one of the books I've mentioned, just leave a comment down below. I'd love to chat with you. Also, please give this video a huge thumbs up if you liked it, and remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm really hoping to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year, which is only in a few weeks. It's just a little goal of mine. I'd love to get there. So with that being said, that is all that I have for you guys this week. My name is Evelyn. I make new videos every magical Monday. I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.